Have you ever sat down to relax and started scrolling through other artists' work? It can be fun and inspiring, but sometimes it can take a weird turn, right? I find that even after doing this for decades, when I look at others' artwork, I've come to the realization that everyone's art is better than mine. And I mean, everyone's art is better than mine, really. Does that sound familiar? With social media's instant access to work from all over the planet, we're constantly exposed to other artists' greatest hits, from amazing photography, books, music, illustration, animation, dance, you name it. The world is full of talent. And this exposure can be both a blessing and a curse, because it can also have a profound impact on our mindset, particularly when we perceive others as masters of their craft. So I want to begin by talking about the comparison trap. Comparing ourselves to others can make us feel inadequate, aka and we are constantly measuring our abilities against those that we perceive as masters. And we undermine ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with exposing ourselves to what's out there, but this is a very delicate balance. In a lot of cases, we don't even know that we're doing it. We start out excited about what's out there and we want to appreciate the work that others are doing. And if we stop there, we'd be fine. But do we? Well, of course not. Our lizard brain has us going down endless rabbit holes of amazing work that you had nothing to do with. And those familiar voices start in the back of your head, and they're planting us firmly in our inadequacies. And it starts a whole process. And we all know this. It happens to all of us at one time or another. But there's also another aspect that I think plays into this. There is a kind of infatuation when we see something new that just kind of presents itself to us. It may look beautiful, different, but it does intrigue us, and it's not associated with our work and all that goes into it. And we know there's nothing like the feeling of creating something, but for good or bad, the final piece is only one aspect of the art. It's everything that got you to that final piece that lives as well, which we do appreciate, but a lot of the mystery is gone to some degree. However, when we see a different point of view approached in a new way, the dopamine kicks in and we have this connection, this instant attraction. We're impressed and we take the final piece of art as everything associated with this artist. No struggle, no self-doubt, just great work. And as with most curated content or the face we show the outside world, everything's great, no drama here, just cool stuff. So keep that in mind next time you fall in love with another's artwork. One of the main reasons that you are is because it's not yours, just as someone is attracted to yours for the same reason. I've also found myself believing that others have this innate talent that I lacked. This thinking can limit our creative potential and create a fixed mindset where we view creativity as an exclusive club reserved for the gifted few, and we weren't invited, which is where I found my thoughts many times. This perspective stops artistic growth in its tracks and has us afraid to take risks, shying away from the learning process that we need for creative development. And I will admit, at my most impressionable self, I've thought that so many other artists covered my style better than I ever could, so why bother? Which is a really bad place to be. Another consequence can be trying to be something that you're not. When this happens, we lose all of our authenticity, and we should aspire to become something more, but that can often lead to us emulating others due to their perceived mastery. Authenticity is at the heart of creative expression, and when it's compromised, our work can lose its originality and emotional resonance, and we become a knockoff version of a better artist. Okay, so enough of my whining. Let's turn this around and talk about how to develop our healthy mindset. I would say the first thing to help us navigate these challenges posed by others' perceived talents is focusing on our growth. No matter what I think, this is very personal, and I don't know what you see as growth. Knowing what you want is important. What do you aspire to when you see someone else's work? Is it a higher level of technical proficiency, expanded creative bandwidth, getting more eyes on your work, more jobs, or status? They're all valid. I've run after all of these at different times, but I will say that for me, dropping what I thought would be more commercial, on trend, and focusing on how I really saw things was very freeing. The next one that I think we all have problems with is embracing our uniqueness. Recognize that your creative voice is valuable and distinct and the only one that you have. The hard truth is you're stuck with yourself and you really can't be anyone else. In the past, I've wasted a good amount of time trying to emulate something that I was attracted to, but wasn't me. And when I realized this, it was really frustrating as to how I could have missed that and how much time I wasted chasing that. So if I can save you any time at all, mission accomplished. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't broaden your perspective and skills, but just make sure that it supports who you are. So limit your focus on others' uniqueness and make your work the only logical choice of what fits your work. Really sell that. Next is to seek inspiration outside of art. It sometimes seems like we're missing the point when we're so enamored with someone's work, the final step in the process. But I can see the attraction. It's tangible. There's something for us to engage with. What else is there? But we seem preoccupied, borderline obsessed with the end result. Doesn't another artist's inspiration hold any interest for you? Beyond the obvious message of an artistic piece, what's behind it? That's kind of an interesting idea, right? And one that if you were to research, I think may provide you with something not to emulate, but to learn how others process creativity. Instead of striving to replicate the work of others, seek inspiration from a diverse range of sources. And don't be so on the nose. It's challenging and fun to base a piece on what someone said to you at work, a book, a film, a fear, or the last time you made things awkward with your in-laws. Your art through your filter, not the result of someone else's work. And the last one is practice self-compassion. And just hear me out. When I say those words, it may seem like a boring self-help sentiment that best serves as wall art that hangs between teamwork and hang in there baby. But I want to stress that this is actually one of the most real aspects of the process. At the end of the day, as you sit there in your workspace, trying to figure out what's going right and what's going wrong in your development, take a step back and look at what you've created in this space, a space that you've worked in for hundreds, maybe thousands of hours. Think about what creating does for you as a person, how creating your art is work that only you can do. Then think about the obstacles in your development and how far apart your world, this creative space, really is from outside influences. For all the noise that social media, internal comparisons, and even your influences make in your head, the quiet of your talents is the only thing there is. Even if you want there to be more than that, there isn't. It's just you and your work with the only person up for the job. So that's it for today. But let me leave you with the words of Brené Brown, who said, "Stay in your own lane. Comparison kills creativity and joy." Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.